All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first time Wanzo has been on our platform. He's given so much information, so much gems, and this was long overdue. We were supposed to, I think my last pop-up was in October, and we actually couldn't do it. He's been doing amazing things in the funding space. Ironically, though, the best video he's done on my YouTube was actually about real estate. And it actually went really crazy. People still DM me about his real estate video. So I was like, bro, we got to talk about the real estate video. We got to talk about the new funding plays he got for 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wanzo way. Can you please give it up for Andre Wanzo? Cat Daddy. You know what I'm saying? See that strut? He burns me out. You see, I don't know vibes. My man went to Neiman's this afternoon. He was like, let me tell you something, sir. Line me up. Andre, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you always supporting the platform, Bellazone Academy. You've talked to our folks so many times. Thank you again, bro. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Herm.
Absolutely. So can we talk a little business?
Of course.
We can talk a little business. All right. This is the podcast, and there might be some people. There's probably like 4 people in the world that don't know who you are. So real quick, tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we go into business and funding and all the sexy things you're doing in 2025, bro.
My name is Andre Wanzo. I'm a business funding coach, mentor. I also show you how to take money and invest it into real estate so you can have a financial vehicle once you achieve the goals that you're looking for.
So your main investments is real estate?
Yes.
What else you tapping into? You're not tapping into nothing but real estate? Don't hold back.
Yeah, we dip and dive in some stocks and stuff like that, but I don't really run that part of it. I let somebody else manage it for me.
You got other people running your stocks? You in crypto too?
Not crypto yet, but just on the stock. So
don't sleep on crypto, bro. That's the
I want to get in.
That's the way to go. So listen, we both have been in this funding space a really long time right now, and 2025 has opened up. What have you seen has changed in funding since the pandemic? In the last 5 years, what have you seen has changed?
Well, basically, they're looking for a lot of different things that people are not aware of when it comes to documentation and things of that nature. But it's really based upon how much money you're looking for, right? When it comes into the funding space. And you also have to know which institution to go to for the particular type of funding you're looking for. A lot of people don't understand that there's different banks on different levels for different reasons. Every bank doesn't offer the same thing. So you have to use strategy and structure for what you're looking for so it can get aligned to what you need to get. So many times that we have to understand what we need to get and why we need to get it and who we're going to get it from.
Okay.
So a lot of people can't actually figure that out. So a lot of times when we're doing this, we're using a blueprint.
Okay.
I'm not a blueprint type of guy. I'm a situational type of guy.
Talk to me. What does
so
that mean? What
I
that mean?
figure out. So say, for example, your blueprint, someone has a blueprint. It might work for John, but it might not work for Jackie. So that blueprint is not applicable to everybody.
Okay.
But if I talk to John and I talk to Jackie, I'm listening to their situation.
Got it.
So now I'm going to think about a creative way of actually funding them based upon what they're telling me. For example, I had a marriage couple, right?
Yeah.
They were looking to get funded, okay? The husband had his credit score was a little challenging. He had a high utilization. He had everything on his credit was perfect. He had no derogatories, but the utilization was high. His business had been in registered with the state for 2 years or more. So everything was kind of lining up for him, except for the high utilization, which you and I know that's a red flag.
Yeah.
All right? So I said, hey, that's not going to work. I already know they're going to deny you because whenever you have high utilization, it shows that you're financially stressed in some way, shape, or form. And at least that's the way they're going to look at it. So I said, what about your wife? Is she available? He said, yes. I said, is she on the business? He said, no. I said, well, let's add her to the operation agreement and give her 80% of the business, and you take 20% of the business. Therefore, they won't have to ask her for any type of documentation for credit.
They'll only run her credit.
They only run her credit. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough time to get her on the operation agreement based upon the amount of time they need to get the money. Right? So I said, well, does your wife have a business? He said, yes. I said, well, let's run her business. He said, okay. So I asked the wife about the business, and unfortunately, she had a business, but it wasn't registered with the state.
Got you.
And she had perfect credit. I said, okay. Well, let's do this then. How long have you been in business? She said, over 2 years. Perfect. Do you have bank statements showing those transactions of you doing business? He said, yes. So you got monthly deposits? She said, yes. I said, over a 2 year period. She said, yes. Okay. Give me those statements. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to the underwriter that, hey, she's been in this line of business already for over a period of 2 years. She just had now registered with the state with the business name.
Because you had documents to show that.
Because she had transitional documents to show that she was doing with the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, when I actually gave those documents to the underwriter, they approved it for $150,000.
$150,000.
Yes.
Line of credit or business?
That was
credit
the line of credit.
Nice, nice. Now, so I don't know if you've seen this, right? I think the game is changing a little bit, right? No doc loans, no doc credit cards. Have you seen a tightening up in funding when it comes to people getting 0% interest credit cards?
Absolutely. You know, Herman, if you watch one of my videos on IG, I said that already. I said this months ago. I said banks are changing the way that they're looking at things, right? Because what happened is that, you know, when we started letting out the word about no docs, everybody went ballistic, everybody went crazy,
right.
raided the banks and
they
all that
watching
stuff.
the same videos too.
They watching the same thing we're doing. So what happened is that they ran in there and everybody applied for no docs. Now, it works fine if you're not defaulting. What happens is that a lot of people start defaulting on the bank, so they have to tighten up what they're doing because now they're taking loss. So now they have to go back and evaluate what they're doing and the way they're doing business. But one thing we do know is that banks are into the business of lending out money, not holding on to money. So they still have to give it out. So what you have to do is learn how to position yourself to get it. So to answer your question, yes, there is a change that has occurred in regards to the way you're doing funding now or getting funded for your clients based upon the paperwork and documentation you may need. Some banks require more documentation than others, and some still might not require none, but they do require a relationship with them so they can identify who they're giving money to.
When people come to you for funding, right? I used to just open the doors and just get everybody funding. Do you help everybody still, or do you have a more deeper intake process?
Well, I try my best to deal with people that's pretty much already in line with the guidelines that I need. I pretty much understand what I need in order to get you kind of what you want. It's kind of like a football player, right? You can be the quarterback, you got everybody on the field, and you know where to throw the ball because you know where somebody's going to go on the offense, right? You just got to read the defense. The defense is understanding what the banks are looking for, right? But so once you understand what the banks are looking for, give it to them. Make sense?
Yes, makes a lot of sense. Now, the Wanzo way, right?
The
Wanzo way. You said something interesting earlier. Because you threw shade on the blueprint. That was crazy. They just, the blueprint, like, that's my whole brand. But you said it's situational.
Yes.
And I think that's really interesting. So the Wanzo way is situational funding because it just depends on what your situation is. The banks that you are affiliated, how many banks do you think are in your portal that you have relationships with right now?
Well, keep in mind, Herm, you don't need a lot of banks to build out a lot.
Tell 'em.
That's what people don't understand.
Tell them, yeah.
You can have 3-4 banks and just, it's all about traffic from that point. What type of traffic do you have? Because if you charging somebody like, well, you know, my fees, you know.
He's outrageous.
If you charge somebody a certain amount of money, you don't need a certain amount of banks in order to do that. You just need to keep a good relationship with that bank. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So your relationship, your RMs, just 3 or 4 banks, and somebody could have a good funding sequence, either for them clients or for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Because, like, even when I first started funding, right, for myself, I explained to you, I think on one of the lives that we did, I've never erased any inquiries off my credit report, ever.
Ever?
Ever. I've never done it. Do I know the process? Yes. Have I done it? No, because I didn't need to because of the structure and the strategy that I use. And I've acquired a substantial amount of money just not removing any inquiries off my credit report because it's all about strategy, right? It's all about understanding what you can get for no inquiries, what you can get with one inquiry, and then what you can get for many inquiries. That's what the strategy is.
Because you understand what banks, what they require, and sometimes they care, sometimes they don't.
What's going to happen is that I'm going to start off with a bank that's not going to require me to get a hard inquiry but still give me funding.
Ooh, slow down. Take y'all paper pens out. All right. Here we go. I knew we was going to get to it. All right. So say that again. I
go to the banks.
That's your first, the first bank you're going to go to.
That's going to be the first bank, right? So if this bank gives me like Cap on Tap, for example, right?
Yeah. Capital on Tap.
Cap on Tap, Divvy, which is now Bill Pay, I think, right? Those two alone gave me $130,000.
$30,000.
$130,000. Now, keep in mind, your credit profile has to be in shape. When I say credit, I'm talking about personal.
Personal.
Business has to be in shape, but personal is going to be the real financial door opener for you when it comes to getting business funding. Although we're talking about personal credit, business funding is going to really elevate you from your personal side because they see you know how to manage it. So when I went to actually Cap on Tap and Divvy, they both gave me low limits in the beginning. I told them that them limits was too low, and I asked them for a reconsideration.
Okay.
Right? When I asked them for the reconsideration, they took a look at my credit profile and they increased it. So I'll give you an example. Divvy at first gave me $7,000, and then when I asked for reconsideration, they ended up giving me $56,000.
That's crazy.
Right?
Just by one phone call.
Just by one phone call.
Nice.
So they reevaluated the situation and looked at my personal credit and seen that I had some type of volume on my business credit.
Okay.
Then they allowed me to have more access to money. Now, when I acquired that money from Cap on Tap and Divvy, you got to keep in mind I had no inquiries.
Okay.
On my credit report.
No inquiries. So the first round, no inquiries.
First round, no inquiries.
And what you do next?
Then what I did was understand what financial institution can I acquire products from with one inquiry. And one of the main banks that do that is Bank of America.
Bank of America. So let's go deeper. So I can get multiple products?
Multiple products.
Okay. How'd you do it? What's the play?
So Bank of America has 4 personal credit cards and they have 6 business cards. Okay. So what I did, because my personal credit was already in shape, I always go to the business side first to max out what I can possibly get, right?
Okay.
So each Bank of America credit card I got was $45,000 a piece, only because I already had a relationship with Bank of America. And not to mention that Bank of America holds your credit report for 30 days. Because they hold your credit report for 30 days, you have access to actually acquire the same product. When I say product, understand what a product is, right? That's a car loan, a credit card, a line of credit. Those are different products inside the bank. So I got the same product with one inquiry because I went back and requested the other cards that they had available to me.
So wait a minute. Bank of America has how many business credit cards? 6?
6.
6 business credit cards.
Yes.
And you can pull your credit report one time.
Yes.
And I can get up to 6 credit cards.
Yes. And you guys need to make sure, because this is how important education is. You need to make sure that when you talking to these business bankers, they really, really understand what they're talking about. Because what happened with Bank of America is that I was talking to a representative. Right. She was kind of shocked. She said, I said, hey, listen, I actually applied for another credit card and didn't get a response. She said, let me take a look at it. I said, okay. She came back and said, well, we see it here, but in order for us to do this, we need to pull your credit again. I said, no, you don't. She said, yes, we do. I said, listen, I promise you don't. Matter of fact, is there someone else I could speak to? She said, hold on. She came back on the phone. The only thing she said, you approved.
Boom.
Because she didn't know. She had no clue.
A lot of these lenders, a lot of people that actually work in the bank, I promise you know more than they do. Yeah, you have to fight back. But listen, I still want to go into this one inquiry thing. So, because everybody taking notes on this. So they have 6 different banking products, business credit products.
Yes.
Now, you went for all 6 of them?
No, I went for 4 on the business side and 4 on the personal side.
And Bank of America pulls from? Experian. So and Experian is just a phone call away if you want to get rid of inquiry. So now we are up Divvy. We are up on Capital on Tap, no inquiry. Then we went to Bank of America, where I can get up to 6 business credit cards.
Right.
1 inquiry if I do it within 30 days.
Exactly.
All right. So now I'm up. This is at least $50,000, $60,000 I'm up. Like, I'm just saying, just hypothetical. Now it's probably 100.
Well, keep in mind, each credit card I got 4 from Bank of America, $45,000 a piece.
$45,000 a piece?
Yes. So you talking about $45,000 a piece?
Y'all see the Wanzo way? Jesus Christ.
$45,000 for each credit card, Bank of America, right?
Okay.
And then you got the 2 from Divvy, right? So that's over $200,000 right there.
Over $200,000. Right? Give him a round of applause. That's nasty work.
And that's still only 1 inquiry in credit report.
Still only 1 inquiry.
That's what you guys got to remember. That's 1 inquiry on the credit report. So if in fact you have more than 1 company, then all you do is redo the play again.
Redo the play again.
That's all you do. Just rerun the play again. and you can get up. That's Herm. That's what.
Listen, I'm gonna twist.
That's how I was able to.
I'm gonna twist your arm. You're gonna give up more sauce. All right. So now that we got Bank of America out of here, we had 3 banks, 1 inquiry, which is crazy. We up over 200,000. What's next? Drake,
Okay, so this is what we did next, right? So now that we got Bank of America, we got the credit cards, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, Bank of America is real friendly with car loans.
Yes, they are. Yes,
that is a different product.
That's a different product. Yes.
So you can go get a bank loan from a car loan from Bank of America. That's another 6 figures.
And funding. Is that on the personal or business?
That's business.
Business. You better tell them.
That's business because now it's going to not affect your debt to ratio income on your personal side. And you get to write that off on your taxes based upon what's going on.
All right, let's go a little bit deeper into that. If y'all guys don't know it, I talk about it all the time. If you have a car in your personal name, if you have a 700 credit score on Experian, your business is 2 years old. Now they want the business to be 2 years old. You can refinance your personal car into your business name. Now it's a business expense that you're using for business purposes, but now the entire thing is a write-off. The gas, the maintenance, all of it. Yeah. And because you already have a relationship with them, that actually helps you too.
Yeah, because what happens is that a lot of people don't understand the more products you have with the bank, what you get is what you call the bank score. So they just don't look at your credit score. They look and see what type of products and services that you have been doing with them over a period of time. That plays a major
play.
Yes. And that's why I was able to get some of the high limit credit cards as well.
All right. Before we talk about what you did with that 200,000, because we got to talk about real estate in a second. Give me one more. Where we going next? After we left Bank of America, we up almost a quarter. What we doing next?
Bank of America, after we left Bank of America, let me see, where did I go? I might have went to Chase.
Chase, okay.
I went to Chase Bank. Now, the thing about Chase Bank is that I did not have any products of theirs at all. So
like you didn't have a bank account or nothing?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Now, I had done business with them in the past, but at that point in time, I did not have an account with them.
Okay.
And when I applied for the Chase credit cards, I was still able to get over 40,000 in those cards as well.
How were you able to do that?
Because it's all about your data points and what you need to put on your application, but you need to be honest about what you're doing, right? They're gonna go off of what you have already managed on your personal credit card. I mean, on your personal credit report, right? Yeah. Because credit report is nothing more than how do you manage your money, how do you actually use money, right? And if you're reckless with it, and how long have you been doing it? It's about consistency, right? That's why part of the credit algorithm is length. Right, because they want to say you might have good credit, but how long have you been consistent with keeping good credit? Keeping good credit, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's going to be something they're going to look at in order to give you the type of money you're looking for. So with Chase, I didn't have no accounts with Chase, and I was able to actually get over $40,000 a piece with those credit cards. On the business side? On the business side, what do you think you could have gotten if you would have had a bank account?
Are you enjoying this episode of the Execute podcast? Well, listen, this free game is just the taste. This episode is sponsored by the Bella Sloan Academy. In the Bella Sloan Academy, we have so much more game. You want to learn how to fix your credit? You want to learn how to set up your business correctly? You want to learn how to get funding for your business? We got you in the Bella Sloan Academy. And even more sauce. You want to know how to market your business? We got you. You want to know how to 10x your business? We got you. We want to put you in position for the win. And listen, in the Bella Sloan Academy, we meet every single month. We have coaches that want to put you in position for the win. So click the link in the description and let's get back to this episode. I'll talk to you soon.
Well, if I had a bank account and a Chase relationship manager at that time.
Yeah.
See, I didn't have a Chase relationship manager at that time. I just was doing this all on the internet.
Right.
So I'm sure I could have got anywhere from 75 to probably 100,000.
So let's talk to the people about relationship managers, because I think this is important in the funding game right now. Why are relationship managers so important right now to people who do funding?
Well, it's a trade-off, right? Most of the time, anybody in those institutions get rewarded for the amount of traffic that they bring in through and get completed, right?
Right.
Get approved. So you give them people that's qualified, and in return, they give you funding that you need for your clients.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes, and most of the time, they get awards and monetary reimbursement at the end of the year in regards to the amount of traffic that they brought in.
And you're helping them bring that traffic.
And I'm helping them bring that traffic in. So it's an exchange, right? They're helping you and you helping them. So you want to build up a good relationship with a business banker just so they can know that they have somebody they can trust and you got somebody you can trust when you call upon them. They'll throw you in front of the line sometimes because they know what you're doing.
So there's two people listening to this podcast right now. There's people with good credit and there's people with credit, right?
Okay.
So let's talk about people with good credit that you want to get funding. What does that profile look like? Your ideal client, when you're doing your consult, they about to go down the Wanzo way situational blueprint.
Wanzo way situational blueprint.
Right. Trademark that, right? What is that ideal client look like to you?
The ideal client for the Wanzo way is someone who has at least about 4 credit cards that's over $10,000 a piece on their personal credit.
Damn, bro, you strict.
Yeah.
4 credit cards, $10K?
I'm just saying, if you got 1 or 2, that's cool.
That's
right?
cool.
Right? I can still get you there, right? But 4 is more impactful, right?
Right.
That's only, that's small.
It's small. It's light work. 40,000.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And then you got to have a mixture with that with a couple of loans, right? So if you got like 2 loans, and the reason why is that underwriters want to understand that you manage both, not just one, right? They're going to look at, okay, you got all these credit cards and you're able to manage them, or they on auto pay or whatever. Do you manage loans as well, right?
Gotcha.
Because mixture of credit is actually part of the credit algorithm, right? So we want to make sure that we have that mixture, and then we want to look at the amount of time that you've been doing that. So we want to average age at least about 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
All right. Now, if you're over 2 years, that's a minimum.
Okay.
We could get you done with 2 years. It's not saying that we can't, but 5 to 7 years show more consistency and show that you're more trustworthy as far as credit. That's it.
Average age needs to be 5 to 7 years. I think a lot of people lose that because I say all the time, oh, your credit cards needs to be at least 2 years old, but the average age of your total credit profile needs to be older. Can you talk to the people real quick before we pivot? Trade lines, authorized users.
Yes.
You for it or against it when it comes to funding?
I'm for strategy.
Okay.
If it makes sense, make it work, right?
Okay.
If it doesn't make sense, don't do it. For example, if you guys ever run across someone who says, hey, let me put you on my American Express Platinum credit card, right, as an authorized user, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because the reason why it never reports any type of information to your credit report, okay? American Express Platinum credit card is a credit card that doesn't show a limit, right? If it doesn't show a limit, it's not going to put anything up against the algorithm that your credit report is looking for. You want anything that's going to report a limit. And in addition to that, you want to make sure that the credit card that you're using as an authorized user is going to be, you're going to get the time that the authorized user actually had that credit card. American Express actually starts the day that you put the person on there.
Right, exactly. So they're not showing the age.
So there's no benefit to American Express Platinum credit card. So you have to understand what you're getting, why you're getting it, and who you're getting it from. Right?
Exactly.
So far as like authorized users, yeah, you can use them in some way, shape, or form, but don't use over 2 authorized users, because what will happen is that an underwriter could possibly look at your credit report and say, this is not your credit. If you got 4 authorized users on your credit report and 2 of them are primaries that are yours, you got a 700-some credit score.
The balance is off.
What did you actually manage? 2 accounts versus 4? Doesn't make sense.
So no more than 2 AUs on your credit report.
Yes.
All right, that's a good tip right there. All right, Andre, we are up $250,000. We got 1 inquiry. My profile is sexy. I have to circle back to a live we did where you was like, Herm, I want to talk to the people of how to get a house, but it's not on my reporting to my credit report. I think that was a class we did.
Yeah, it was actually how to actually acquire property without putting on your personal or business profile.
Okay, this is what we're about to go into. Take your paper and pens out. How to get real estate without it reporting to my personal and my business. Yes. Talk slow, because we taking notes. Go ahead, because now I got $250,000, so now I got money to play with. Yeah. Talk to everybody about this.
And you can use a lot of that to acquire a lot of property based upon what I'm about to tell you.
Exactly, right, because we got the capital. So give us the situation, because I was about to say give us the blueprint, but you shady. But go ahead.
So
blueprint.
So this is called Subject 2. Subject 2 gives you the ability to acquire property without putting in your personal or business name. The way it works is that you find someone that's actually going through what you call a pre-foreclosure. Not foreclosure, because that's different.
Okay.
Pre-foreclosure. And what pre-foreclosure is, that's someone that's heading towards foreclosure, right? These people are actually motivated sellers most of the time, and most of the time they having financial difficulties. And so what you want to do is understand what this house is worth and what could you possibly get out of trying to acquire the house. You always want to investigate the situation before you jump into it, okay? You need to actually analyze the deal. So A person that's actually in pre-foreclosure is in a situation and they could be possibly willing to get out of it for a small amount of money. When you're dealing with pre-foreclosure or any type of real estate, you need to understand there's deeds that's in place. You have a warranty deed, and you have a security deed. Mm-hmm. The security deed is owned by the bank because they're the first lien holder. They have first position when it comes to the lien on the house.
Okay.
And when I say position, that means that the bank actually gave this money to you, for example, to buy your house, so you're in debt with them. Mm-hmm. If in fact you were to default, then the money goes to them first. So that's first lien holder, right?
Right.
So the second thing is that you need to understand is that your warranty deed is your deed. You actually have a deed to the property as well. So there's two deeds involved. You guys need to make sure you note that, right? This is very important. The bank never owns the house. You own the house. They just have a lien on it. So if in fact you are in a situation where you want to sell the house, you can do that through what you call a quitclaim deed, okay? A quitclaim deed is a transfer of the deed and recorded that's downtown to a third party or outside party that's not in the actual mortgage exchange in the beginning of the process. Meaning they didn't sign any of the mortgage documents. Okay. All right? So a person that has a house has a mortgage, and they has mortgage documents, and they have to be able to get out of it. They can get out of it what you call a quitclaim deed. When they sign a quitclaim deed over to, like Herman signed a quitclaim deed over to me. Mm-hmm. If Herman signed a quitclaim over to me, that gives me full ability to take over the property and control of the property. Now it's my property.
All right, so let's do slow real quick, right? Because I'm slow. All right. So, because you're talking high level. So pre-foreclosure, I'm going through some financial issues. I own the property, right? But you come and you want to help me out. We'll talk about the numbers in a second, right?
I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to help you out too.
Right. Yeah, we're going to talk about how we're going to help them out, right? Because everybody's going to win in this scenario. I can do a quick claim deed to transfer my deed, which is the warranty deed, over to you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The bank is still the lien holder because they got their, what's that deed called? Security deed. So now this is legal. I can transfer this deed over to you. What about my obligation to the bank?
Okay.
My initial obligation.
Your initial obligation is that you are the person that signed for the loan.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you don't get out of the loan. Mm-hmm. You just transferring the property of ownership to someone else. You still hold the loan. This is what you do. This is what you call carrying a note for someone.
Okay.
So basically, like, they're carrying a note under their name, although you're paying for it now because it's actually your house and you don't want it to go into default. You don't want to lose it. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand how to actually get the opportunity to talk to the bank, let the bank know where the payments are coming from, or who's going to be the person that actually communicates. And that's when you get an authorization of release of information form.
Okay.
Okay. That form has that person's name on it, their mortgage number, and all the other information to identify them as the owner of the house. Once you give that information to the bank and you actually had a quitclaim deed, then you officially own the house and you have communication to do any type of transaction you want with the bank and that house.
Because the bank is going to be like, listen, I don't care who owns it as long as somebody's paying this note.
In some cases.
Okay.
Okay. You never want to make a bank aware of what you're doing because they can do what you call it's called liabdue.
They can call the loan, yeah.
Yeah, They can call the loan. And if they call the loan, if you owe $200,000 on that house, then they want it right then and there, right? So you want to keep them out of the loop with any of this. You just want to let them know that you're a responsible party for communication with the house from that point moving forward.
Okay. So what about the original owner? Like, so do they still want communication from me, the original owner, or are they like, hey, all right, we're only going to talk to Andre moving forward? Who's paying the note though?
Exactly.
Right.
It's all about who's paying it from that point, as long as they don't know that transaction has happened. Because you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but people can steal your house without you knowing about it, right? So banks don't keep up with the exchange of deeds.
Okay.
They don't keep up with that. And that's how somebody's able to steal your house and you don't know it, and then they got a whole line of credit on your house for $150,000 and it's your debt.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have to understand what they know and what they don't know. So you never tell them about the quitclaim deed and the exchange of ownership, because then most of the time they want to call a loan.
So your only involvement in communication with the bank is letting them know, hey, I'm the new point of contact.
Yes.
And I'll be sending the mortgage payments. Like, you're going to tell them that.
Yes.
Okay. And then now you own this home with paperwork. And you're making the new mortgage payments.
And you making the new mortgage payments.
So tell me, let's go over the numbers on why Herman would ever do something like that. Why would I do something like that? What situation am I in that will put me in that position? And why would you do something like that? Why would you take over the property?
When you say why would Herman do something like that, is like, Herman the guy that's buying the property, or
no? So I'm in pre-foreclosure, right?
Okay.
The house is worth $500,000. There's $300,000 left on the house, right?
Okay.
So there's $200,000 in equity. It's $2,000 a month. I can't afford it. I'm 6 months behind. It's about to go to pre-foreclosure. You step in and you say what to me?
Listen, we can help try to possibly save your credit from getting a foreclosure on it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I can catch your loans up, which will help your credit out.
Okay.
In addition to that, I can give you money in your pocket, which obviously you don't have because you're not paying your mortgage.
Okay. All right. So I'm 5 months behind, so I need $10,000 to catch up.
Okay.
So you're gonna give me $10,000?
No, I'm going to pay the note of $10,000 towards the lien of the property to the bank.
So you're gonna right. You're gonna give the bank the $10,000 to catch me up.
Right.
Okay. And then I'm out of this.
And then I might give you another $5,000 just to put some money in your pocket to make the sauce.
You gonna give me money?
Yeah, I want you
a couple
out.
dollars for my troubles?
Yeah, I want you out.
Right. So we're negotiating. It's gonna have to be 75. But all right.
But you don't really. You already in trouble. You already in trouble, and 5 people already came your way, and you already got turned down because they didn't structure the deal right.
So you're basically gonna give me 15 to get out the way, and I'm gonna take it because I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I got you. And then we do the quick claim deed. You contact the bank, and now you have this property for $2,000 a month. What are you doing with the property?
Well,
why is this a win for you?
Because this is how you build up a real estate portfolio without any debt on your name.
Cold-blooded. Come on, snap it up. Oh my God, snap it up. Cold-blooded.
This is how you build up a real estate portfolio with no debt on your name. Think about it. When we initially started this podcast, we was talking about putting real estate in your name without reporting to your personal business credit.
Right.
When at what point did you hear me say I had to use a social security number, I had to fill out an application?
Damn.
You don't hear me say none of that.
None of that.
All I said was fill out an authorization of release of information form.
Right.
That was it. Okay? So when that transfer of title happened, the person that actually signed the original mortgage papers with the bank is the person that's responsible for the loan. So even if I was to walk away from the house after I got the quitclaim deed, I still don't owe no debt to no one at all.
I originally do.
You do.
But why would I, right, I'm going to press you on this. Why would I sign up for that deal? Because I technically still owe the mortgage.
Because you can't pay it. And you guys.
So I'm betting on you paying it.
Yeah. Why would I want to lose?
Got you.
Why would I want to lose? I'm not coming in to do an investment to lose, right?
I already gave you $15,000.
I gave you $15,000 plus. I already know what I'm gonna use the house for, right? There's a couple of different things of ways that you can look at it. Because if the house has equity in it, because some people don't know about equity, don't understand stuff. You can get that house, pull the equity out because you are the official owner of the house.
So I can go to a bank and get a line of credit, a loan against this property.
Exactly.
That's
and
nasty.
then take that money from that line of credit from that house and go maybe buy you another property
and go do it again. That's nasty. Give him a round of applause. That's nasty. So let's talk numbers though. Because when you're looking for deals like this, right? Like, what numbers make sense? Like, all right, Herm, I'm looking for a property that does this, this, and this. What does it look like to you? What are you looking for?
Well, you got to always look at the actual deal to see if it makes sense, right? And the thing that you're looking for is value, just like you look at value for anything else. You want to make sure the house potentially may have some equity in it, or it might be a neighborhood that's up and coming, and you see what's about to happen, right? But at the end of the day, you want to make it sure that it's something that you can actually use, whether you're setting up for Airbnb, and it's going to be residual income coming in, or you're going to take the money and put it into a portfolio, a real estate portfolio.
Got you.
Because a lot of people understand, like, you do 10 of these deals, right? And you got 10 houses. Those 10 houses end up to be $2 million in assets.
Yeah.
Right?
That you control.
That you control. Now you take all those 10 houses, put them in a real estate portfolio, and you can sell them to an investor. And you can carry the note for the investor, just like you did, like the other person's carrying the note for you.
Yeah.
You can carry the note for them, right? And then they can pay into those houses because they're looking to do something with their money, because a lot of rich people ain't got nothing to do with their money, so they use real estate to not pay taxes. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of different things that you can use real estate for. Mm-hmm. And then the other part is that you're looking for the equity. If you got equity in there, it gives you the opportunity to own a property, have an asset, pull out the actual equity, and rent the house out at the same time. The tenant's going to pay for the house itself. What are you paying for?
Are you paying for it? Right.
All you got is profit from that point.
Got you.
Right?
Are these assets that you have right now, are you protecting them in a trust? Are you able to put them in a trust?
You're supposed to always put all your assets in a trust so your name's not connected to none. It's just a number. Mm-hmm. So what you do is that you put everything in a corporation, then you put a trust up over it. And then even if you want to take the money that's coming out the trust, you can take that and invest that into a life insurance policy. And
Slow down, bro. Come on. She can't write that fast. All right. So I get this asset. I put it under a corporation. Mm-hmm. The corporation is under a trust.
Yes. Really, it's a corporation, or it's going to be a holding company, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? And then that goes up to a trust. Now, that trust is going to be managed by somebody else.
Right.
It's just a trust, so it's known times just a number. But you have somebody that manages it.
Now, how'd you add the insurance into this?
The insurance?
Yeah, they tell us the insurance.
Because then you could take the money out the trust and invest into a life insurance policy, like whole life,
Gotcha.
Right? And when you invest into a life insurance policy, it grows value. Once it starts growing value, then you can borrow against a life insurance policy. When you borrow against a life insurance policy, say like you got $200,000 in a life insurance policy. Well, if you take out $100,000 and go buy some more real estate, it's still like the $100,000 you pulled out, the life insurance policy, it's still making money every day, growing interest like it never moved because you borrowed against it. Now, once you're done with flipping the property or whatever you're doing with the $100,000, you bring it back and you pay it back and you put it right back in there.
That's nasty. Give him a round of applause. That's nasty. Y'all can rewind the tape to watch this again. And what's really important about what you talk about from beginning to where we are right now is structuring your business, structuring your personal credit profile to maximize how much funding you get, structuring your business portfolio to ensure that you're able to pull the money out, put it in a trust. All this has to do with amazing structure. Who does this work for you? Yeah, I'm not doing it. Who's doing it?
Remember, I'm situational, right? Mm-hmm. So I have to figure out who, what, when, where, and how.
Right.
Those are the major questions. You guys need to write that down because if you have those answers, then you can actually, it makes it easier for you to figure out anything you're doing. All right. So you got to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, where you're doing it, and who you're doing it with. Right. So it's always a plan. Right. So when you say structure is going to be based off the situation. Right. But we do know there's certain things that you're going to need in place based upon what you're trying to do, regardless of what it is. Right. So we always have to look at, again, the financial door opener for you guys, no matter what it is going to be your personal credit. There's so many people that come to me and Herman say, oh, I want $100 million in business credit. Yeah. And they got like 4 or 5 collections on their credit report.
Right.
No one's going to give you anything. Mm-hmm. So understand, in order to defeat something, you got to know how it works.
Say it again. Okay?
Say it again. In order to defeat something, you got to know how it works. If you learn how things work, then you will know how to deal with it. Okay? I get this analogy all the time. If you take your car to a car dealership and you say, hey, they say, what's wrong with your car? You say, it won't start. Okay. Well, automatically, the technician is going to look at a couple of components because he knows how it works. One of the first things he's going to look at is the battery dead. Is the alternator gone?
Starter.
Is the starter? Is it the fuel pump? Because those are the core components that start the car. Well, when you look at funding, understand what they're looking for.
Yep.
How many accounts are they looking for? Mm-hmm. How long do they have to be reporting to your credit report? Mm-hmm. You know, and what type of accounts are they looking for based upon the bank that you're dealing with? Understand and learn how to think about structure and strategy. That will carry you a long, long ways. Trust me. All right. I just gave Herman an example of how I got over $250,000 and I had 1 inquiry on my credit report.
Inquiry, nasty.
And I've never, ever removed any inquiries off my credit report, and I didn't display inside of Herman's mentorship how much money I got access to, so it's no fluff.
Right. Yeah. Facts.
So everything I say, I prove. Just recently, you sent me somebody I got on what, 300,000?
300,000. I'm glad you brought it up. That's because this is what they came here for too. We got a couple minutes left, so let's wrap. So you got a new play, right?
Yeah.
300 grand, 6 figures in funding. Tell people what they need inside of the Wanzo way if they want to tap in to get this type of capital. And then I want to end with talking about being responsible with credit, because it's a double-edged sword. We gotta be responsible with it. So tell us about this product.
Yeah, so first thing, you gotta have perfect credit, right? And some of the guidelines that I gave you guys previously in regards to the 4 credit cards, 4 lines of credit, things of that nature, that's gonna be key in addition to the length of credit, right? Mm-hmm. Then if you can, you wanna build out your credit profile, right? Now keep in mind that everyone doesn't actually report to business credit, okay? They don't report, right? Some people report to Dun & Bradstreet, some people report to Equifax, some people report to Experian.
Right.
And I want you guys to keep in mind, just because you put stuff on your business side when it comes to utilization, don't think that utilization doesn't play a role with Equifax and Experian, because it does. It doesn't play a role with Dun & Bradstreet. So that's important to know, so when you're trying to get funding. So those are the things we have to look at and put in place. So we want to make sure we have the number of accounts on the business side as well, so we know that we didn't show that we know how to manage on the personal side and the business side in regards to managing money and dealing with credit. So when an underwriter looks at that, they're going to say, okay, this person has already been established on the personal side. They already been established on the business side. What are they looking for from us?
Okay.
Right?
Got you.
And that's why you want to make sure that's structured properly. So we want to make sure that we at least have, again, 6 accounts on the business side, right? You can get 30-day net accounts, like we talking about, like Uline and things of that nature, right?
Right.
Because you at least want to get some type of paydex score.
Yep.
Right? Once your paydex score is up, then it's going to go across all of the 3 bureaus that's out there for business credit. And also you have Small Financial Business Exchange, which I didn't bring up, right?
SBFE.
Now, the Small Financial Business Exchange interacts with most financial institutions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you got a line of credit card, whatever it is coming from the business side, the Small Financial Business Exchange probably more than likely has a record of that.
Okay.
Now, the Small Financial Business Exchange is B2B. It's not C2B. B2B being business to business, meaning that you can't see the profile. Okay. Only they can. All right. But C2B is like Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax. All right.
Got you.
But you want to make sure that you keep your business credit profile A1, because when they look into the Small Financial Business Exchange, they're going to see everything that you don't think they can see.
Got you. I'm glad you're saying this, because a lot of gurus online are saying that Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax Business, SBF, they don't matter. Only personally guarantee it. But you're telling people they got to play the long game.
Yeah, I mean, okay. They say it doesn't matter, but are they the one pulling the trigger?
That's fine.
Are they the one pushing the buttons?
That's fact.
Do they know what Bank of America is looking for, Truist is looking for, any of those banks? They don't. So how do they know that, right? Unless you're an underwriter back there pushing the buttons, don't go by what somebody else say. Just do the right thing, right? Make sure all your ducks are in a row, and that's on both sides, the personal side and the business side. And then you're not misfiring.
Exactly. But my sister's just turned 40, right? And we got her car in the business name. No personal guarantee, no nothing, because they checked my business credit profile. I walked out of there, no docs, no nothing. I just signed the paperwork. So people who are telling you it doesn't matter if you are building up your Dun & Bradstreet, they don't know what they're talking about.
That's the same thing that happened when I got my Corvette.
Right.
I didn't sign anything, and then, they just gave me the money, and they said, hey, you need to come back with 6 figures of funding, you want your car. I'm like, I'll be right back. And so when they gave it to me, I just took it to the car dealership, and they just gave me the keys and signed the paperwork and walk off. That's how powerful credit is, right? I'm letting you guys know, right? You can actually be broke. I mean, dead broke, right? And not have any money at all. But you got a perfect credit score, people going to do what, huh?
They're going to give you the bag.
They're going to give you money.
And when you have the bag with a plan, it's ball game after that.
Banks are looking for all of you guys, right? Banks are looking for all of you guys, all right? All you got to do is put yourself in position to catch the bag when they throw it. And that's making sure that your personal and your business credit is together.
Look at you making a viral clip. I love to see that, bro. Listen, for people who want to tap in with you, bro, who want to get some funding from you, because we talked about the 6-figure funding play, like I know everybody going to be on your line for that. How can people reach out to you?
You can reach out to me. Go to thewanzoway.com. That's my website. And you can also reach me at AG9 Nah, that's IG, right?
Yeah.
IG, go to A_Wanzo, right?
A_Wanzo.
A_Wanzo. That's A_WANZO. And you can go to thewanzoway.com and reach out to me there.
Bro, I appreciate you coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Wanzo.
Thank you for having me.